So I hope that for this 10 minutes, as you're all here, at least you know the basics of DRS, because that makes my story a bit more better to follow. If not, we see a lot of questions coming up from countries, from companies, from governments, etc. And we are, myself to start with, but also all my colleagues from the established DRS countries. And I hope I won't forget one: Iceland, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Slovakia, and the Netherlands established a European Association for DRS organizations recently to be able to cope with all the questions we get and also raise our voice in case EU is trying to implement some regulations that really don't make any sense as far as DRS is concerned. Sorry, hope not to offend anyone. Having said that, okay, DRS and its contribution to circularity. I think there's 3 points about this I would like to highlight today. First of all, the collection targets you will be able to achieve with a deposit system. Secondly, the high quality of the material collected. And thirdly, the litter aspect to it. Is then DRS the silver bullet to everything? No. Unfortunately, not all packaging is able to join DRS. So far, it's about drink packaging everywhere. Juices are added in several countries. Dairy will be added in some countries, but it's still about drinks. I think that there's development coming up, not only drink packaging, but still we do need food packaging, and that also relates to what was said earlier on. It has to be okay for further food contact if you have recycled material, of course. Of course, technology evolves, so it becomes more easy to add other packaging to a DRS. And of course, still not everything is collected, so we need to cooperate with existing EPR schemes to do even more. And of course, it is not the silver bullet to solve all litter, but it does solve a lot of, at least the visual litter. How, what exactly you would like to see in a DRS in a country depends on the local situation. Is recycling already okay for glass? Perhaps. Then you could say, well, why would we bother adding glass to a DRS? On the other end, if it's small glass and it's used outside in the parks and it causes a lot of litter, then it makes sense. So it's always, to my opinion, a combination of factors that makes the decision. And then a question that a lot of people from the industry often ask: will it harm my business once DRS is introduced? The answer is no. If well prepared and well designed, and we know that there are examples in Europe where it's the opposite, but that has to do with a lack of preparation and a lack of a system at the start of DRS. But if you well prepare and well design, then it will not harm your business. Does it have an effect on existing EPR? Yes, but that's just a matter of choice. Okay, talking a bit further about the design, there's a few basic requirements that more and more organizations are asking for when there's discussions about DRS, but they're very important. Enough time to prepare, 18 months at least. It should be run by the obliged industry. It's, after all, a part of producer responsibility, but it should be done in close cooperation with retailers. It should be done on a not-for-profit basis. You don't need to earn money on deposits. However, the unredeemed deposits should remain in the deposit organization to finance the system. And it should be, of course, consumer-friendly. Again, to protect the business, but also the consumer has to become enthusiastic. They have to become the ambassadors of the system. So you need to communicate and educate them over and over and again, and make it easy for them to bring back the empty packaging and get back the deposit that they want paid. Then, of course, the finance part, it should be efficient. So make choices about in the design that you're not going to pick up packaging in the very, 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 very tiny place, because then it will become very costly. But on the other end, if you collect beautiful materials, then the material value will be quite high. And that's of course a part of a well-financed system as well. Of course, people that take back, or organizations or shops that take back empty packaging, should be rewarded for the action they take. So there should be proper handling fees. And there should be a nice part of fraud prevention, not only at the consumer side, because also, unfortunately, there's also producers that tend to say they sell less than they actually do in order not to pay all the deposits to the organization. And then a very important part for the design requirements is the materials. It was mentioned before as well, but these materials should be kept available for the producers. In my country, the Netherlands, it's even considered still the property of the producer, and they get to sell their material to whomever. Well, that will be a recycler, talking about a PET, of course, and that will be a recycler that is able to do bottle-to-bottle recycling for them, as this gets more and more important. Now for the three major points that I addressed at the beginning. High collection. Yes, it's easy. Well, not easy, but it's very well achievable to have 85 to 90% collection rate. And as the yield is quite okay, because there's no other waste, collection is almost stays the same as recycling. And the packaging has a value, and therefore consumers will be happy to bring back the packaging. And if they don't and they still litter, somebody else will pick it up and bring it back. Also talked about the quality of the materials. There's no, as I just said, there's no other waste because it's collected mostly through machines. There's no other waste collected with that, and furthermore, it is separated as soon as possible based on a barcode, AEN code, which makes the quality of the materials great. That causes, of course, not only a high quality, but also the possibility to actually recycle in bottle to bottle or can to can. And furthermore, as the collection results are very high, there's a lot of high quality material available. And then the last part, litter. It is proven that that deposits can reduce litter, or at least bottles and cans, with 70 to 90%. So that's the way to go. In my country, we try to reduce litter by changing the behavior. Not saying all the Dutch people are really dirty people, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Deposits, we immediately saw a decrease in bottles on the streets. Penalties, the police stops when they see you littering. It hardly works. They have other things to do. And of course, there's examples in countries where it is clean on the streets without deposits, but most countries, unfortunately, fail to do so. Also, when you reduce litter, of course, we protect our nature. Okay, to finalize, one size fits all? No, it really, how you will implement deposits and how it will look like, it really depends the local situation. Is it the silver bullet? As I said, no. But is there a big contribution to circularity? Absolutely yes. Thank you.